this is Mark and Teresa, and today we're going to talk about how to resolve a dispute against a tax preparation service using the PeopleClaim online system. Teresa is going to talk about the claim and fill you in. We're going to use an example claim that's a live example up on the PeopleClaim site, and we're going to try to help get it resolved for the filer.
My name is Teresa, and we are going to tell you about a situation with a tax service that didn't take care of their client.
What are the basics of this complaint? What actually happened? Who is the claimant blaming? What is she looking for to get out of the resolution?
The claimant is blaming Expose for an error in regards to her daughter's taxes that they had prepared. They had to do an amendment. The amendment showed that they were going to owe $1,000 in addition, and ended up having to take it to another tax preparer for a second opinion, cost them $127, and they're wanting that reimbursed, the $127, as well as an explanation and to why they owe $1,000. There's a huge difference, obviously. In my experience, I've done a lot of taxes. We need Expose to give us your opinion, your thoughts on the situation, whether or not it was your error, client's error. Maybe there was a form that wasn't missing. Was there audit defense purchased with the actual tax return service? That will give us more information and better understanding to help this case.
Okay, so Teresa, my understanding of this case was that the client engaged Expose tax preparation service to do her daughter's taxes. They did the taxes, she filed them, the IRS came back and said the taxes were incomplete, that there were errors, so she then took her taxes to a different provider, H&R Block in this case, who did the taxes and said there was a deficiency of $1,000. Now, we're not quite sure whether the $1,000 includes any penalties from the IRS or simply an underreporting, underfiling of the case, so we need to find that from either the claimant or Expo was what is the $1,000? Is it an error? Is it a fine? Where did the error occur? Why were the taxes incomplete? So we're going to ask a question through the PeopleClaim site that will go to both parties and try to get an explanation as to where did the shortfall come from, because it's fairly significant. In addition to that, I understand that the claiming party had to pay an additional $127 to have H&R Block go back, fix the taxes, refile, and that's where they discovered the $1,000 deficiency. So the gist of this claim is, I believe, the claimant is looking for a recovery of the $127 of additional filing. We're not clear whether she's also looking to recover anything from the $1,000 or whether that's something she owed, and whether the $1,000 was incurred because of a mistake or is simply a mistake on Expo's fault, or something that she didn't report back when she gave the information to Expos. That's the guts of the claim. This is a common occurrence. It happens a lot with tax preparation. But we need a response from Expos, and we also need a response from the claimant so we can be clear on where the error occurred, why it occurred, with these taxes, with the $1,000 taxes that would have been owed anyway, or was any of that a penalty, and whether it's fair for her to recover the $127 of additional funds that she had to pay H&R Block, or possibly whether she should get a refund from Expos for whatever she paid them, since there was an error and it resulted in a problem. So that's the gist of the claim. Now, Teresa, do you know taxes? Have you seen issues like this before? What generally happens? Is it more often than not client error, or is it preparer error? Were there documents that weren't communicated? Or can you say, is it half and half?
It's a little bit of everything. It's just a situational situation. It happens a lot. It can be a data entry error on the tax preparer's part. It can be lack of documents that was submitted during tax return time. It can be a change in the IRS at any time. The IRS is cracking down, and they've been cracking down for the last 2 years on specific information, especially when it comes to the fines for the marketplace insurance. And it may have something to do with that. We need more information. We need more information from the client as well as expose in order to resolve this claim.
Teresa, can you explain how the insurance works? Because a lot of people aren't familiar with that.
Yes. The marketplace insurance, you will receive a 1095A. If you have received a 1095A, that is required to be filed, and there is a percentage that you are required. It affects your return, is basically what I'm going to say. If you don't have insurance for a period of time throughout the year, you're going to be fined. It's adjusted depending on how many months, what kind of insurance you had. Was it employer insurance? Was it...
Oh, this is healthcare. This is the part of the ACA
Yes,
plan.
that is correct.
Okay. So, I got you. So what we need to find out is, was that part of this filing?
It possibly could have been.
And was it paid? Was it estimate? I guess you can estimate, and then sometimes you have to recalculate depending on what your income actually turns out to be. We need to know, is that part of the $1,000? And were you correctly advised, talking to the claimant, were you correctly advised by the preparer, or was it withheld? So if the preparer could provide more information, and Expose is certainly invited to provide their side of the story too, and let's try to get this resolved so that both parties come out of this in good shape. Now, one other question, Teresa, on if the preparer has made an error, what can the claimant generally expect to get back? Do they get back their fees? Is the preparer liable for that error?
The preparer has a specific amount that they will allow. If it's their error, they will cover for any loss due to that error. Okay. Just for example, the company that I work for and have done many taxes with is up to $2,500 in regards to a data entry error. So you will be covered for $2,500. I want to add that because there's the $1,000 difference, I don't know if you're rounding it or where the $1,000 is actually coming from. But if the IRS accepted the return and then all of a sudden you get a notification that there was an error, then most likely they've received a documentation in that transition time that they were doing your actual taxes that something's not coinciding. That's why I say that it's probably insurance related.
Okay, well, let's get the rest of the facts, and we'll revisit this case as soon as we have the facts back, either from the claimant or Expose or both, and hopefully we can get this resolved and get a successful settlement.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.